The time chamber, a place of power and transformation. Anonimiz Cherry II, a beacon of hope and resilience. By his side stood the Rap Tribe, unique and powerful. The time chamber pulsed as Anonimiz and the Rap Tribe meditated. Silence descended. Anonimiz journeyed inward. The tribe mirrored his stillness. Anonymiz's voice broke the silence, resonating with ancient power. Anonymiz's eyes opened, golden light shimmering within. Anonymiz's transformation began, his aura deepening with power. Anonymiz's voice resonated. The chamber crackled with energy. Anonimiz sank deeper into meditation, entering a void of potentiality. Anonimiz stood in a field of golden wheat, facing a towering figure. The figure offered a shield and slingshot of radiant light. Anonimiz accepted the tools, understanding their purpose. Anonymiz's transformation ignited, the time chamber awaited. The golden light subsided, revealing Anonymiz's transformed silhouette. And then, the light shifted. It was no longer receding, but coalescing, gathering around Anonimiz like a second skin. His eyes opened, no longer the warm brown the tribe knew, but a brilliant white luminescence that seemed to illuminate the chamber from within. The air crackled with energy, the temperature noticeably rising as if the very laws of physics were bending to accommodate the power that now resided within him. His features, once youthful and unassuming, were now sharper, more defined, as if chiseled from marble by an unseen hand. His skin, normally a warm caramel brown, radiated a faint golden glow, the light seeming to emanate from deep within his very being. The transformation was not just external, but a reflection of the profound shift that had taken place at his core. His hair, once shone close to his scalp, now flowed down his back in thick, lustrous waves, shot through with streaks of silver and gold that shimmered like moonlight on water. The transformation was complete. Anonimiz, the champion they knew, was gone. In his place stood a being of pure light, a conduit for a power that defied comprehension. The time chamber, accustomed to extraordinary displays of power, seemed to shrink back, its ancient walls groaning under the weight of Anonymiz's transformed state. The Rap Tribe, their own considerable energies dwarfed by the sheer intensity of his presence, instinctively shielded their eyes, their auras flickering like candles in a hurricane.
Yo, Anonimiz is on another level.
It wasn't a question, but a statement of the undeniable truth that blazed before them. Their friend, their brother-in-arms, had ascended to a realm beyond anything they could have imagined.
This is no ordinary transformation. This is
spiritual Rap, his voice barely a whisper, his normally serene green aura now a vibrant emerald fire, stepped forward, drawn by the sheer magnetism of Anonymiz's presence.
This is the Eli Ascension form.
The embodiment of divine purpose.
Mama Ama Rap finished, her voice trembling slightly, her usually warm golden aura now blazing like a miniature sun. Papa Legba Rap, his usual mischievous grin replaced by an expression of stunned silence, simply nodded, his purple aura subdued, as if bowing before a power far greater than its own. The time chamber, holding its breath, awaited Anonymiz's next move. Anonymiz's voice, when he finally spoke, was no longer the familiar baritone, but a resonance that seemed to emanate from every corner of the chamber simultaneously. It was the sound of power, tempered by wisdom, of strength honed by compassion.
I feel it. This form, it's not just strength, it's clarity, it's balance.
He took a step forward, and as he moved, the air around him seemed to shimmer, his aura pulsing gently, no longer a blinding light, but a beacon of warmth and reassurance. He was no longer a force to be feared, but a source of hope, a testament to the transformative power that lay dormant within them all.
It's clarity.
Anonymous raised his hand, the one that held the shield and slingshot. The objects, once distinct, now seemed to flow into his hand, their edges blurring, becoming extensions of his very being. The shield, no longer a physical barrier, but a radiant aura that enveloped him, deflecting negativity before it could even touch him. The slingshot, its form shifting, morphing into a conduit for his will, ready to unleash focused bursts of energy with pinpoint accuracy.
It's balance.
The word echoed through the chamber, not just a sound, but a tangible shift in the very fabric of reality. The air, once thick with anticipation, now hummed with a sense of peace, of rightness, as if the world itself had realigned itself around Anonymiz's transformed state. The Eli Ascension form, the embodiment of divine purpose, had awakened. The Rap tribe, bathed in the warmth of Anonymiz's transformed energy, lowered their hands, giving way to a sense of awe, of hope, of renewed purpose. They had faced impossible odds before, had stared down darkness and emerged stronger. But now, with Anonymous as their champion, Ascension form, they knew that they could face anything.
We're with you, Eli, whatever comes next.
Civil Surfer Rap, his voice steady, his silver aura solidifying around him like a suit of armor, stepped forward, his gaze unwavering. He didn't need to elaborate. They had been tested before, their bonds forged in the fires of adversity. This time, however, they faced the unknown with a newfound confidence, a sense of unwavering unity that stemmed from the radiant heart of their transformed leader. Spiritual Rap, Mama Amma Rap, and Papa Legba Rap nodded in unison, their auras blazing brighter, their spirits lifted by the light that emanated from Anonymous. They had witnessed a miracle, had been touched by a power beyond comprehension. The time chamber, no longer a silent observer, thrummed with anticipation, its ancient energy echoing the sentiment that resonated within the hearts of the Rap tribe. They were ready. Anonymous, the Eli Ascension form, stood at the center of the chamber, his gaze fixed on the massive door that stood between them and the world beyond. He didn't speak, didn't need to. The transformation had not erased his humanity, but had amplified it, infusing every fiber of his being with a purpose that transcended words. The time for preparation was over. The time for action had arrived. The time chamber, as if sensing the shift in Anonymous, the newly emerged Eli decided to test its champion. The very air within the chamber, now thick with anticipation, began to crackle with a power unlike anything the Rap tribe had ever witnessed before. The runes on the walls, usually pulsing with a gentle ethereal glow, now blazed with an intensity that bordered on violent. A palpable wave of unease washed over the Rap tribe. Even Civil Surfer Rap, his normally unflappable demeanor firmly in place, felt a tremor of doubt run through him. Spiritual Rap, his connection to the spiritual realm, usually a source of comfort, found himself struggling to maintain his composure as the very air around them grew heavy, charged with an ominous energy that spoke of primal power. From the heart of the swirling energy, a monstrous form began to materialize. Scales the color of obsidian, each one larger than a manhole cover, shimmered as they emerged from the maelstrom. Eyes, glowing with a malevolent intelligence that sent shivers down their spines, snapped open, fixing the Rap tribe with a gaze that spoke of unimaginable hunger. A collective gasp escaped the tribe as the monstrous form fully materialized. A multi-headed serpent, its body so large it filled the majority of the chamber, coiled in the center of the space, each head swaying menacingly as it surveyed its surroundings. This was no ordinary beast, conjured from their nightmares or drawn from the depths of some forgotten mythology. This was a creature of pure primal energy, brought into being by the time chamber itself to test the mettle of the one who dared to claim the mantle of Eli. The lead head of the serpent, larger and more menacing than the others, reared back, its jaws opening wide in a silent roar that seemed to shake the very foundation of the time chamber. Rows of razor-sharp teeth, each one longer than a man's arm, gleamed in the ethereal light, promising a swift and brutal end to anyone foolish enough to stand against it. With a speed that belied its massive size, the serpent lunged. The air crackled and popped as its body, a blur of obsidian scales and malevolent energy, shot forward, its target clear. Anonimiz, the newly ascended Eli, who stood calmly at the center of the chamber, his expression unreadable, his body seemingly relaxed, yet radiating an aura of unwavering confidence. The Rap tribe, their training kicking in, scattered. Civil Surfer Rap, his staff crackling with silver energy, leaped to the side, narrowly avoiding the serpent's snapping jaws. Spiritual Rap, his eyes closed in meditation, seemed to anticipate the attack, his body flowing out of the way with an almost unnatural grace as the serpent's massive head slammed into the spot where he'd been standing only a moment before. Mama Ama Rap and Papa Legba Rap, their combined energies, a force to be reckoned with, unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, momentarily distracting the beast as the rest of the tribe regrouped, their eyes wide with a mixture of fear and determination. This was a battle unlike anything they had ever faced before, a test of their skills, their loyalty, and their faith in the one they now called Eli. But Anonimiz, the Eli, did not flinch. He stood his ground, his gaze locked on the charging serpent, his expression unreadable. As the beast's gaping maw closed in, he calmly raised his hand, the one that held the shield. In a heartbeat, the shield of light, no longer a mere object but an extension of his very being, materialized on his arm with a resounding clang that echoed through the chamber, a sound both ancient and powerful, like the ringing of a celestial bell. The impact was deafening. The serpent's head, driven by the full force of its primal rage, slammed into the shield of light. The chamber itself seemed to groan in protest, dust raining down from the ceiling as shockwaves rippled outward. But Anonimiz did not budge. He stood firm, an unyielding beacon of light against the onslaught of darkness, his feet planted firmly on the ground, his expression serene, as if the full force of the serpent's attack was but a gentle breeze against his face. The serpent, momentarily stunned by the effortless defense, recoiled, shaking its multiple heads in confusion and rage. This was not the reaction it had expected. This was not the fear, the desperation that it was accustomed to encountering. This was something different, something altogether more powerful, something that resonated with an energy that it instinctively recognized as both ancient and dangerous. Anonimiz lowered his hand, the shield of light retracting back into his being with a soft hum. His gaze never left the serpent, a silent challenge in his eyes. The message was clear. This was only the beginning. The time chamber, its energy crackling with renewed intensity, seemed to hold its breath, eagerly anticipating the next move in this cosmic dance of light and shadow. The serpent, its primal rage now fully ignited by this unexpected challenge, hissed, a sound like 1,000 whispers of malice and fury. It thrashed its massive body, its multiple heads weaving back and forth, each pair of glowing eyes fixed on Anonimiz, searching for a weakness, an opening in his seemingly impenetrable defense. But Anonimiz, the Eli, remained calm, his movements measured, deliberate, as he reached back, his other hand grasping the slingshot. The slingshot, no longer a simple weapon of wood and string, hummed as it responded to his touch. Its form shifted, morphing, becoming an extension of his will, a conduit for the very energy of the time chamber itself. Its core glowed, brighter with each passing second, drawing in power from the swirling vortex of energy that surrounded them, transforming it, shaping it into something both beautiful and terrifying. And then, silence. The serpent, as if sensing the imminent release of power, paused, its multiple heads held high, its glowing eyes narrowed, watching, waiting. Anonimiz, his gaze steady, his breathing even, took aim. There was no hesitation, no fear, only the calm, unwavering focus of a master craftsman at work. His movements were fluid, practiced, his entire being a symphony of intent and purpose. And then, he released. There was no thunderous roar, no earth-shattering explosion, only a sound like 1,000 harps being plucked simultaneously, a high-pitched ethereal song that seemed to pierce the very fabric of reality. A beam of golden light, blinding in its intensity, shot from the slingshot, a streak of pure energy that seemed to defy the laws of physics as it arced through the air, striking the serpent at its core with pinpoint accuracy. The serpent roared, a sound of pure agony and disbelief, as the golden light exploded outward from within its very being. Its massive body convulsed, scales flying in all directions as the energy coursed through it, shattering its defenses, dismantling its very essence. The time chamber, unable to contain the raw power of the Eli's attack, shook violently, its runes blazing with an almost blinding intensity. And then, silence. The golden light faded as quickly as it had appeared, leaving behind a faint, lingering warmth and a sense of peace that settled over the chamber like a benediction. Where the serpent had stood, there was nothing but a fine, shimmering dust, particles of light dancing in the air before dissolving into nothingness. The time chamber, its test complete, seemed to sigh, its energy levels returning to normal, the runes on its walls dimming to their usual ethereal glow. Anonimiz lowered his hand, the slingshot dissipating, its purpose served. His expression had not changed, his features still bearing the same serene calmness, yet a new depth of power, a quiet confidence, radiated from him. He had faced the test, had proven himself worthy of the mantle he now bore. The Rap tribe, still recovering from the sheer magnitude of what they had just witnessed, stared at their transformed leader, their faces a mixture of relief, awe, and a newfound respect. They had always known Anonimiz to be strong, resilient, a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. But this was something different. This was Eli, the Ascended One, a being of pure light and unwavering purpose. And they knew, with a certainty that ran deeper than words, that the world would never be the same. Silence hung heavy in the air, broken only by the soft crackle of residual energy. The time chamber, its test complete, had fallen quiet, its ancient walls seeming to hum with a sense of satisfaction. Anonimiz, the Eli Ascension form radiating a gentle warmth, turned his gaze upon his companions, his luminous eyes reflecting a depth of understanding that transcended words.
Even he, with his vast knowledge and ability to anticipate, struggled to fully comprehend the power that Anonimiz now wielded. The ease with which he had dispatched the creature, the sheer force of his transformed state. It was both exhilarating and slightly unnerving.
Spiritual Rap, his connection to the spiritual realm deeper than any of them, closed his eyes, his emerald aura glowing softly as he offered a silent prayer of gratitude. He had always sensed a greatness within Anonimiz, a purity of spirit that shone brighter than most, but the transformation he had witnessed was beyond even his wildest imaginings. This was not merely power, but purpose, a destiny unfolding before their very eyes.
They had faced countless challenges alongside Anonimiz, had stood together against impossible odds, but this new chapter, this ascension, felt different, heavier, as if the fate of worlds now rested upon their shoulders.
Apprehension flickered in their eyes, a healthy dose of fear mixed with a thrill of excitement.
They had always known Anonimiz to be strong, resilient, a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. But this was something different. This was Eli, the Ascended One, a being of pure light and unwavering purpose. And they knew, with a certainty that ran deeper than words, that the world would never be the same. Anonimiz, sensing their unease, took a step towards his companions, his movements fluid and graceful, no longer weighed down by the constraints of his former self. The air around him seemed to shimmer, his aura pulsing gently, not with the blinding intensity of before, but with a comforting warmth that spread throughout the chamber, chasing away the shadows of doubt and fear. Anonimiz Cherry II. That was a taste of what's to come. He paused, allowing his words to sink in, his gaze sweeping over each member of the Rap tribe, acknowledging their individual strengths, their shared history, the unbreakable bond that held them together. Anonimiz Cherry II. The path ahead will be fraught with challenges, with trials designed to test our limits, to push us beyond what we believe we are capable of. He met their gazes one by one, his luminous eyes boring into their very souls, igniting a spark of determination that mirrored his own. Anonimiz Cherry II. But we will not falter, we will not break. We will stand together stronger than ever before, and we will overcome any obstacle that dares to stand in our way. The air crackled with renewed energy, the time chamber itself seeming to vibrate in agreement with his declaration. This was not a boast, but a promise, a vow forged in the fires of transformation, tempered by the unwavering belief in the power of unity. Civil Surfer Rap nodded, his silver aura solidifying, his voice firm as he addressed the group. Civil Surfer Rap, he's right. His silver aura solidified around him like a second skin, a reflection of the resolve hardening within him. He had always been the voice of reason, the strategist who analyzed every angle, calculated every move, but even his normally analytical mind struggled to grasp the full implications of Anonymiz's transformation. One thing was certain. They were entering uncharted territory, and their strength lay in their unity. Spiritual Rap, we faced down darkness before. Spiritual Rap added, stepping forward, his green aura pulsing in sync with Anonymiz's, their combined energies creating a wave of warmth that spread throughout the chamber, chasing away any lingering doubts. He had always been the heart of the group, the voice of compassion and understanding, and he knew that their true strength lay not just in their individual abilities, but in their unwavering belief in each other. Mama Ama Rap and Papa Legba Rap, their initial apprehension giving way to a steely determination, nodded in unison, their auras flaring briefly in a display of solidarity. They had always been the protectors, the ones who stood on the front lines, shielding the others from harm, and they would continue to do so, drawing strength from the knowledge that they faced the coming challenges not alone, but as a united front. And so, the Rap tribe gathered closer, their bodies a symphony of motion, their auras blending, intertwining, forming a single radiant light that illuminated the chamber, a testament to the unbreakable bond that held them together. They were more than just a group of individuals, more than just a team. They were a family, bound by loyalty, by shared experiences, by the unwavering belief that together they could overcome anything. Anonimiz, his heart swelling with gratitude and love for his companions, allowed a genuine smile to grace his lips. Their unwavering support, their willingness to stand by his side in the face of the unknown, filled him with a sense of peace that transcended the turbulent energy swirling around them. They were ready. He was ready. He turned towards the massive chamber door, its surface etched with ancient runes that pulsed with a faint ethereal glow. The time for preparation was over. The time for action was at hand. The world outside, oblivious to the transformation that had taken place within the depths of the time chamber, continued to spin, teetering on the brink of chaos. As the chamber door slowly began to open, a swirling vortex of colors and energy, a kaleidoscope of chaos and possibility, poured into the chamber, a stark reminder of the challenges that awaited them. But the Rap tribe did not flinch. They stood shoulder to shoulder, their auras blazing brightly, their spirits fortified by the unwavering faith they had in each other, in their purpose, and in the Ascended One who stood at their center. With Anonimiz, the Eli Ascension form, at their head, the Rap tribe stepped forward, their silhouettes framed against the swirling vortex, their eyes fixed on the horizon. The battle for the fate of their world was about to begin, and they would face it head-on, united, unyielding, and ready for anything. The air crackled with anticipation, thick with the tension that sent shivers down the spines of those unfortunate souls caught in the crossfire. This was no ordinary concert, no celebration of music and rhythm. This was a battleground, a sonic war zone where words were weapons and the stakes were higher than ever before. On one side of the stage, a vortex of dark energy swirled, coalescing into the imposing figures of the evil Rap family. Each member, a master of sonic manipulation, radiated a chilling aura that spoke of untold power and a thirst for chaos. Their eyes, glowing with malevolent intent, scanned the crowd, searching for any sign of weakness, any flicker of doubt that they could exploit. At their center, a figure of commanding presence emerged from the shadows. Chakra Totti, their leader, a master manipulator of the darkest energies. Chains of burning red energy snaked around his body, crackling with raw power, each link a testament to a soul consumed by negativity. His grin was predatory, cold, a chilling promise of the sonic assault to come. And facing them, standing alone at the edge of the stage, a beacon of hope against the encroaching darkness, stood Anonimiz Cherry, his silhouette framed against a backdrop of pure white light, radiated a calm strength that belied the storm raging within him. The weight of countless battles, of victories hard won, and lessons etched into his very being was evident in his stance, in the set of his shoulders, in the unwavering gaze he fixed upon his opponents. With a flick of his wrist, a wave of distorted sound, laced with negativity so potent it felt tangible, erupted from the stage, crashing against Anonimiz like a physical blow. The very air crackled and popped, the speakers groaning in protest as they struggled to contain the raw power of the attack. This was not music, not anymore. This was sonic warfare, a symphony of chaos designed to crush the spirit, to break the will, to leave nothing but shattered remnants in its wake. The crowd, a sea of faces caught in the crossfire, reeled back, their hands flying to their ears as the distorted sound waves washed over them. Their expressions, once filled with anticipation, now contorted in a mixture of pain and terror as the negativity seeped into their very beings, amplifying their deepest fears, their darkest impulses. But Anonimiz stood firm. He closed his eyes, not in surrender, but in concentration, his body becoming a conduit for a power far greater than anything the evil rap family could conjure. The indigo light that emanated from him intensified, forming a protective barrier, deflecting the sonic onslaught, transforming the distorted sound waves into a gentle hum that resonated deep within his core. The evil rap family, their faces twisted in a mixture of rage and disbelief, continued their assault, their combined energies converging into a vortex of sonic chaos that threatened to tear the very fabric of reality apart. But Anonimiz was no longer simply defending. He was absorbing, transforming, drawing the negativity into himself, filtering it through the depths of his being, transmuting it into something new, something powerful, something beautiful. Anonimiz Cherry II. You mistake pain for power. I embrace both. And with those words, the tide began to turn. Anonimiz moved, not with the frenetic energy of his opponents, but with a grace that defied the chaos swirling around him. His hands, imbued with the power of the Eli Ascension form, moved in a blur, his fingers weaving intricate patterns in the air, his movements echoing the ancient rhythms of creation, of healing, of love. Waves of pure, resonant sound, infused with the indigo light of his aura, emanated from him, washing over the crowd, counteracting the negativity, soothing the pain, calming the fears that had taken root in their hearts. The air itself seemed to vibrate with a newfound clarity, the distorted sounds of the evil rap family fading, their power waning as Anonimiz's light spread, pushing back the darkness, reclaiming the space with each resonant note. Chakra Totti, his control slipping, his chains of energy sputtering, his face contorted in a mixture of rage and fear, lashed out again and again, but his attacks lacked their former potency, their power dissipated by the unwavering light that emanated from Anonimiz. The other members of the evil rap family, their own energies waning, faltered, their movements becoming sluggish, their expressions shifting from confidence to doubt, to a dawning realization that they had underestimated their opponent. Anonimiz, sensing their weakness, their faltering resolve, gathered his strength for a final decisive blow. His indigo aura, now tinged with gold, pulsed with the power that seemed to draw upon the very life force of the universe itself. He raised his arms, his voice, no longer a whisper, but a roar that shook the very foundations of the venue, echoing with the combined strength of his spirit and the unwavering support of the rap tribe resonating within his heart. A blinding flash of white light engulfed the stage, silencing the chaos, momentarily blinding everyone present. Then, as quickly as it had appeared, the light faded, leaving behind a sense of peace, a lingering warmth that permeated the air, chasing away the last vestiges of negativity. The evil rap family, their power broken, their forms flickering like dying embers, collapsed, their reign of sonic terror finally at an end. And as the dust settled, as the echoes of the battle faded into silence, the crowd, bathed in the afterglow of Anonimiz's power, looked upon him with a mixture of awe and gratitude. Their faces, once etched with pain and fear, were now illuminated by a newfound hope, a sense of liberation that resonated deep within their souls. Anonimiz, the Eli Ascension form, had not just won a battle, he had reminded them of the power that resided within them all. The power of resilience, of love, of the unwavering belief in the human spirit's ability to overcome even the darkest of shadows.